What is going on? And welcome back to another free training. We got something very, very good for you. Time management for entrepreneurs, right? This is going to be how to take back control of your time and ultimately multiply your output, right? How do we, and this isn't, don't just think that this is going to be, hey, how do I, make my schedule and deep work and all of that stuff. Yes, obviously that stuff is going to be included. Yes, it's going to be important. But today we're really going to dive into one of the most important things that is most understood or misunderstood by entrepreneurs inside of the game, right? And again, it's the time management. Now, if you've ever mentioned, hey, I just need more time, there's not enough hours in the day, this training is going to be for you. All right, this training is going to give you a simple framework to reclaim your time, stop wasting hours on low impact tasks, and actually move the needle forward in your business with clarity and momentum. Now, before I go into this full training, if you haven't already watched some of our other trainings, especially the last one that we released, the identity shift for entrepreneurs, I want you to start with that. Yes, I apologize. I'm telling you, don't watch this video right now. Go ahead and watch that video because that is going to give you maybe the understanding that you've been missing, right? You keep trying to build habits, but they're not sticking. You keep trying to implement new things, but they're not sticking. You just got a brand new spreadsheet, a sales tracker, a lead tracker, but you don't use it for more than a week or two. Go watch that video, okay? That is going to be the belief system, the identity shift that you need to be able to keep moving forward and ultimately show up for the things that you say you want to. All right, so what I'm gonna do is break down three simple things in this video. One, why most entrepreneurs struggle with time, okay? And they don't even know it. Two, the three systems that you must install to take back control. And number three, how I personally structure my day as a high performance coach, running a business, team, and a client base, while also being pulled in a little bit of a different direction with some, I wouldn't call it a passion project, right? But where my heart and where my mind is currently, pulling me. So I want you guys to go ahead and lock in, right? Remember, if you want support implementing this in your business, I'm going to share how you can book a free call at the end, okay? But most importantly, I got to deliver to you here in this call so that you have a very good understanding of what that would look like moving forward and what is possible, from working together, okay? So you don't have a time problem. All right, that is the truth. You do not have a time problem. You have a clarity problem. Okay, if I gave you 10 extra hours a week right now, would you even know exactly what to do with them to grow your business? One question that I recently said on one of our Thursday strategy sessions is I said, what if you only had 20 hours inside of your week? How would you structure your week differently? How would you show up differently? Would you be able to do the low level stuff or would you have to prioritize more, right? So instead of thinking, hey, I need more time, actually work based off of less, right? Because most entrepreneurs are stuck in busy mode, doing a bunch of things that feel productive, but don't actually lead to growth, revenue, or momentum. Why? Because they're reacting, right? Every little time that something pops up, right? They're checking notifications, they're bouncing from one thing to the next, they're chasing fires and falling into this trap of, constant distractions, no matter what it is, right? But the key shift is this. Your calendar is not just a list of what you have to do. It's literally a blueprint for your dream life. You are at one point right now in your life and you want to get to another point. We want to close that gap. Hey, what do I need to do? I want to work 20 hours a week. Right now I'm at 60, 70, 80 hours a week, 40 hours a week. What do I need to get there? Right? Hey, I'm at 2K revenue, 3K revenue. What do I need to get to 5K, 10K, right? 20K a month. All right. So again, everything we're doing is about leveling up our identity, leveling up our beliefs, leveling up as our own personal growth, whether that's working out, whether that's mindset work, but it's also closing the gap between the things that we're doing, right? Getting back some of that freedom. When you realize that everything inside of your schedule is your blueprint for your dream life, everything changes, right? You stop being reactive. You stop wearing, you know, busy, like it's like this badge of honor, right? When I was first starting off my business, I remember, it's like I would close my laptop, I'd go downstairs and, at the time I was living with my family, I'd close my laptop, go downstairs and like open my laptop back up. And it was like, why? Why couldn't I just be present? Why couldn't I just be hanging out with my family? Instead, I had to act like I was busy. I was moving buttons around and clicking stuff just to look like I was building a business. But it wasn't doing anything. It wasn't leading to any more money. I was better off just falling asleep on the couch, right? So that's what I want to save you guys from. I want to go ahead and break down 3 systems that top entrepreneurs install to take back control of their time. All right. Number 1 is the CEO Power Hour. Okay. This is a part of kind of like our weekly planning. Every Sunday or Monday, we are taking 30 to 60 minutes to set up your week. What are your 3 biggest outcomes that you want to achieve this week, right? What will actually move the needle? Is it sales? Is it content? Is it offers? Is it client results, right? What can I delegate or eliminate? And then when we have this plan, when we have this structure, when we have this brain dump, right, then it's time to actually block it in, right? Literally put it on the calendar. Because if it's not scheduled, it's not real, right? Just like that saying, hey, if it's not written down, right, or if it's not in our plan, it's not real, right? You just have a goal or a dream in your mind, and that's all it is. It just stays a goal and a dream, right? But until we put it into action, until we put it into a plan, it's always going to be just a thought, right? I like to call that imperfect action, right? We're not perfect. We don't have everything. We are exactly where we need to be, though. All right. So that's number 1, the CEO Power Hour. Number 2 is the 3-3-3 daily system. All right. So here's how you win your day without overloading your to-do list. Every single morning, right, I want you to go ahead and define 3 needle movers, right? So these are money-making, audience-building, offer-focused tasks that you are going to do, right? Probably something around content, probably something about sales, whatever that might be. All right. Then you're going to outline what are 3 maintenance tasks, right? There's a lot of stuff we need to do, whether you have a team or whether you don't, especially if you're a solopreneur, that we need to do every day, regardless of if we want to do them, right? And it's emails and it's check-ins and it's kind of like that admin stuff, right? Really seeing, what is popping up, what is going on, what things do I need to follow up with, calls getting rescheduled, whatever it might be. And then I want you to think about, to wrap that up, so we got 3, and the last 3 is 3 personal actions. Okay, work out, meditate, go for a walk, read, journal. I'm trying to think, something for you, right? Start your day by attacking the needle movers first. All right. This is going to keep you focused on output, not just activity. A lot of times people start with this 2-hour morning routine. We're doing all this crazy stuff. Next thing you know, it's 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the day, and you still haven't done the things that actually move the needle forward, right? That's an issue, right? We're a little bit behind at that point. Number 3 is going to be your environment control. All right. Plus, this is where we're going to talk a little bit about the deep work. Time management isn't just about planning. Okay, it's about protecting your focus. Do you have your notifications off during deep work blocks? Do you have a clean workspace? Do you have a 90-minute block every single day to go all in with 0 distractions? Because if not, that is where you are going to start. Okay, high performance happens when you treat your focus like a superpower, right? If you're constantly switching between tabs, checking text, or multitasking, you are leaving probably 50% or more of your potential on the table. And that's an issue. So what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through a little bit of, kind of like my schedule and give you a peek into what a real day looks like for me. All right. This isn't perfect, but it works. My morning routine is, hey, waking up, no phone, right? That first hour or so. A lot of times I don't even charge my phone like overnight. So sometimes I'll wake up, it's at 10, 15, 20%. So my morning time is like when I'm charging my phone, right? And I'm charging my phone in the kitchen. I'm getting that set up. It's away from me. It's, there's no distractions. Also, when I wake up, it's usually about 6 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's texting me. Nobody's calling me. It's easy, right? It's light. So my morning is, hey, me doing that, jumping into my journal. I'm not actually going to journal because I journal in the evening, but in my morning routine, I'm reviewing my top 3, right? What are my biggest priorities? What are the things that need to get done for me today to move it forward? And then from probably about 6:30 to 8 is going to be my deep work time. All right, that is my deep work block. Again, no calls, no messages. That is where I'm creating, I'm strategizing, or there's something I'm solving, right? Maybe I'm creating a lead magnet. For example, today I was prepping this. Right now it's 9:15 at the time of recording this, right? But from about what was it? 7 today, right? I had a little bit of like a later start there. 7 to about 8:30, was me actually writing or finishing this, finalizing kind of the script that I'm walking through here to make sure that this was set up, for success. But if it wasn't me working on this, it maybe would be prepping some content. If it wasn't me working on this, it would maybe be me, working on a lead magnet just like this. If it wasn't this, it would be me creating, maybe a funnel, maybe automation, maybe a email sequence, maybe something new I'm working on. Okay, so that's where that deep work time goes. Then I usually try to schedule my calls anywhere from like 9 to 3. I'm averaging right now maybe about 2 to 4 calls, right? Like a day when I'm a little bit busier there. So this is where I try to protect these hours for what matters most, right? In my business, it's people and results, making sure that my clients have me there to have their back, making sure they're getting their results, making sure that I'm free and available, for them. And then kind of after that or mixed in with that, I always try to batch those calls together. Would maybe be some, maybe creating content. That's not me like scripting, that's me actually recording it. Some check-ins and maybe some, community building stuff. All right. And then the evening, unplugging, like I mentioned, I do my journaling. So what I'll usually do is I'll check my spreadsheets. Hey, did I do all my daily non-negotiables? I'll check into my community. And usually the last thing before I do going to bed, this is actually like me on my bed or right here at my desk, is my final journal. That's usually the last thing that is right before I go into my bedroom or right after I go into my bedroom and wrapping up my day. All right. So every day has a rhythm. Every day has a purpose. There's boundaries that are set. And that is how I stay consistent. Okay. So if you are feeling behind or overwhelmed right now, it's okay. The amount of times where people are sending me a message, hey, I'm stuck, hey, I'm off track, hey, whatever it might be, don't let that be your story next month, okay? We are just kicking off a new month here. Do not let that be the story, the theme for your summer. Overwhelmed, weekends flying by, and feeling like you are behind. What separates high performers isn't that they have more time, it's that they protect it and direct it with ruthless intention. So start using these 3 systems, right? The CEO method, right? The CEO flow, 1 hour CEO block, all right? Where we're planning our week, the 3 by 3 by 3, all right? Creating that system, creating that structure for you to be able to prioritize in your day. And I'll mention this again. If you want help putting this into place, you're tired of, you're almost at that point of, you're tired of being tired, right? Enough is enough. If you want to stop spinning your wheels and actually get some support to manage your time, grow your business, and build your dream life, then it actually might be time for you to reach out, right? Because I want to invite you, to be able to book a call for a free high performance audit call, right? Or, we could call it a strategy session, seeing what you're doing, seeing what you're working on. And we're going to map out your current time use, right? We're going to identify kind of those leaks. Where is your time slipping away? Where are you getting distracted? Where can you optimize your day, or what levers can you pull to help you feel fulfilled and optimize right off the bat? Okay. And I'm going to help you build a plan to take back control. All you have to do is directly below, depending on where you're watching this training, but directly below this should be a link for you to go ahead and click on there to book a call. If not, and if you can't find that link down below this or a button down below this, then just shoot me a message, right? Shoot me a DM either on Instagram at @ChrisWinters_PL. Send me the word time, or time management for entrepreneurs, whatever you want to do, and I'm going to make sure that you are, taken care of. Okay, you were never meant to be stuck in busy work. You were always meant to lead, build, and thrive. And I know that's true. That's not just made up, because you wouldn't be watching this video. So let's keep growing. Let's get after it. And I'll see you on the other side.